Uganda Communications Commission, in collaboration with police, has embarked on enforcing the law against the illegal and non-compliant broadcasters. Non-compliant radio stations are broadcasters that were granted frequency assignments but are no longer operating within the terms of their licenses, and then non-compliancy includes the failure to obtain annual compliance certificates and failure to pay the license fees.
And this is basically radio, television, but also on a number of online platforms, where we have seen a rise in content that is deemed inappropriate. Most of it is against our morals as a country. It has sexual innuendos. A lot of it is borders, pornographic in terms of its lyrics, in terms of its content, and this is raising a lot of concern, partly from the regulator, but also from the public that has reached out to us. There is a lot of outcry, especially even on social media. But because we know that we have a regulatory framework that basically needs to, or is governing this kind of broadcast, we are coming out more strongly now as the regulator of the sector and basically calling upon licensed broadcasters.
Speaking to Ibrahim Bossar, the head of communications, UCC, he revealed that the government is no longer tolerating the broadcasters exceeding their broadcast power, over-modulating, operating without the key technical components, such as the band, pass lifters, and developing the non-tape approved equipment. Ibrahim furthermore called upon the licensed broadcasters to fully work on content which is educative and relevant to all the ages.
That our young children, the youth, are usually focused on broadcast platforms. So meaning this content needs to be provided in a place where people who need it can get it. Today, because of the advent of technology, we have on-demand services. So this content can be made available on demand, only requested by people who need to access it. But we also know that because of digitization, today our youth and children are not only watching television or broadcast platform only in 9 to 10, isn't it? Our kids are accessing content on tablets during the day, and that's where we're saying now this content also needs to be classified, and we have a classification regime under the Media Council, superintended by the Press and Journalism Act. So this content, whether it's an advertising, whether it is a song, whether it is a video, needs to be classified that it is suitable either for people 18 and above, 16, 13, or shouldn't even be screened at all. And
on the other hand, legal radio stations that operated illegally and were never granted any frequency assignment or approval to operate, hence failing to comply with regulations, are to face the law.
Those 17 still remained defiant from those court summons. Now that's where we are shifting a gear as the regulator and going for enforcement. So we have partnered with the police and we are going against these 17 broadcasters and we will bring them down. Now, it is important to understand that our actions are not geared to create discomfort, to create inconvenience, or to create uncompetitiveness for somebody. There's an elaborate process which we feel we are exhausting, but regulatory sanction usually comes at the tail end.
The commenced enforcement activities against the concerned illegal and non-compliant operators include shutting them down, confiscating the illegally operated equipment from the illegal stations, and prosecuting the offenders. However, there are penalties which have been put in place to curb the act.
If you are found having installed illegal equipment and you're using it for broadcast purposes, the penalty is 30 million Uganda shillings, or you'll be imprisoned for up to 4 years. Okay? If you are found without a license, now this means you could have been originally a compliant broadcaster, your license expired, but you continue to broadcast. There you are liable to pay a fine of 500,000 or be imprisoned up to a period of 1 year.
All operators engaged in illegal and non-compliant broadcasting have been urged to stop henceforth, or else they will be stopped at their own cost or prosecuted accordingly.